There was a survey done that I'll put up on screen right now that said that 90% of the generation of men in today's world were uncomfortable speaking just 3 lines to someone face to face like this, let alone talk on a stage in front of an international audience. Now, I used to be part of that 90%. I used to genuinely tell my teachers, beg them literally, to remove my name from speaking events and any sort of play or skit that I had to even speak like 3 or 4 lines at in front of my school. And now I am a TEDx speaker who got a Best Delegate Award in an MUN that he spoke at, and I'm recording self improvement content that helps you to speak like me now. And if you want to know my secrets, there are only three. Okay, only three pieces of advice that I'm going to give you in today's video that I can genuinely guarantee you will help you to be a better speaker by tomorrow. I guarantee this because it's not some wishy-washy bullshit that you've heard on the internet thousands of times, like putting a pencil in the middle of your mouth to pronounce words better or some gay shit like that. The advice in this video will genuinely make you a better speaker tomorrow. So what is the advice? What are the three things that I did to take me from that insecure little child to who I am right now, sitting in front of you? Sitting in front of you, telling you advice in front of like 1,000 people worldwide. Now, the first piece of advice is something that is common with literally every single person watching this video right now. Stage fright. That one word literally brings fright into myself, because I remember a time when I had an assembly in my school where you had to stand on stage and speak like 3 or 4 lines in front of every single student and teacher in our school. Now, for me right now, that would be no big deal. I would love that opportunity, right? To like speak something in front of people. Back then, I would literally be in the washroom to avoid having that opportunity. I remember I told my teacher that, yeah, fine, I'll do it. That's no biggie, I'll do it. And on the day of the event, I was literally locked up in a bathroom because I didn't want to do it. When I was in that bathroom, I was literally thinking what would happen if I stuttered like 3 or 4 lines and I heard everybody laughing at me. What would happen if I didn't even mess up, but everybody was simply laughing at me because I looked funny or looked weird? You went through that same exact thing, didn't you? I'm sure that if you're watching this video right now, you had a similar experience with yourself. Maybe you didn't lock yourself up in a bathroom, but you were genuinely at least sweating in your palms or your forehead. Why? Why do we have stage fright? It's because we are not confident in our ability to speak. And that confidence comes from one simple thing. Ignore all the bullshit that you've heard on the internet before, saying that, oh, you get confidence by saying these words when you're actually not able to say any words, right? Instead of saying filler words like you just keep your mouth shut. Ignore all that bullshit, okay? There's only one way to actually get confidence in speaking, and that is to fucking speak. You will not be a better speaker if you don't try to speak. Even if you fail, even if you have the most embarrassing video put out to the internet, even if you have the most miserable speech that you're saying to an audience, it's still gonna make you a better speaker. There is not a single possibility that you will be a worse speaker when you speak. Even subconsciously, consciously, you will be a better speaker, bro. All right, so just try to speak and as many opportunities as possible. And slowly you will realize that fear becomes fun. That fear of speaking becomes the fun, the thrill of speaking. And that's when you get to my level. Now, I'm not saying I'm some sort of speaking god. I'm sure I've stuttered like 4 or 5 times in this video already. But I've genuinely come a long way from who I used to be. And I'm telling you that you can be like me. You can improve. Now, the second piece of advice is something that I've not really seen talked about a lot on the internet. Maybe it's because it's not like traditional advice or it doesn't work as well, but for me, it worked wonders. Whenever you are on a stage and you're speaking to more than like 5 people and they're all looking at you, I know that feeling, yeah? They're all looking at you, gazing into your soul. Assume that they're retards. The next time you're on stage, look into every one of those people's eyes and assume that they're deaf, that they can't hear you. That they have their eyes open but they're sleeping on the inside, because a lot of them are. And I don't mean to offend you, and maybe even if I do, I don't really give a fuck. But look, 70% of the people who are your audience are probably not even paying attention to you. The other 30 are just waiting to leave the room and just go to the washroom and take a shit. Like, I'm telling you, the people who you're talking to do not care about what you're talking about as much as you care. So when you try to assume that they're retards, that they're stupid idiots that can't even understand the language of English or something, you become a shit ton better at speaking. When you assume that these people can't actually understand what you're saying, that pressure on you goes away immediately. I don't want to make it sound like it's some fairy tale mystical bullshit, but it truly is. If you can truly try to understand and believe the fact that there's stupid people, all of that pressure, all of that anxiety, that stage fright goes away immediately, bro. Now, the third piece of advice is sort of a cheat code that I use, that is the most impactful thing that I've ever done out of the 3 things that I did. And when I recommended it to my friends and they actually tried to use it, they became as good as me as well. You want to know the cheat code, bro? Just talk slower. It sounds like it's like some simple bullshit, but it's really not. Look, okay, I'll give you a live demonstration. If I just tell you advice right now, face to face on the camera, when I'm not even really thinking about my words and I'm just saying it in a really fast tone, you can barely even understand what I'm saying. Like, half the words are going through in your ears like this and coming out like this, yeah? But if I take a lot of pauses in between, if I slow my tone down, you understand what I'm saying. Because the impact of my words becomes much more better. And you want to know something else? When you're talking slower, you're literally giving your own brain more time to think about the words that you're gonna say. If I'm talking really, really fast like this, I can't really have a lot of time to think about my next words. But if I'm talking slow, I give my brain so much more time. And when you're talking slow, when you're taking pauses in between, you reduce the risk of stuttering as well. Like, it's a win-win, bro. Your audience gets more impact and you get more time to think. Why are you not talking slower? I'll tell you why. When you're nervous and when you have a script, you want to get over with the script and the speech and everything as fast as possible. Now, this might not even be a conscious habit. It could be literally your subconscious trying to rush through the script to get that nervous and anxious experience over with as soon as possible. This shit goes down so much into your subconscious that you cannot fix it with some wishy-washy bullshit on the internet, bro. If you learn to talk slower, you're telling your subconscious to deal with the event instead of rushing through it and just ignoring it. Isn't that crazy? Subscribe for more videos like this, bro. The next videos that I have, they're much better than this one, man.